Hello and welcome back to ATK 42. Oh, shoot. Hello and welcome back to Silent Film Fridays, where the films are silent, but the hosts are not. And we are super imperfect. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm joined,
Hi, Alex.
as always, by my host, Dr. Tiffany Knoll.
Hi. I am a professor of popular culture studies at Bowling Green State University. But, Alex, I think you tend to call me something a little different.
Yeah, I typically just call you Mom.
Hi,
And
Correct.
hello, Laura from Math. Welcome in. I hope you're prepared for a wonderful film called Wings.
Well, I sure hope so. Now, Al, I got a question for you real quick. Why does that say Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon?
I forgot to change the I forgot to change the thing, that's why.
Aren't you glad I asked?
Yes, I am so glad that I am so happy when people point these things out.
Desi, hi! So glad to see that you made it. And by the way, welcome to anybody else who might be attending from one of my classes. If you made it, and you make it to the end of the film, and then you also do the write-up, which there's a spot for it on Canvas now. Well, looks like it'll be a good time. Desi, I'm curious, did you actually put together the watch party that you were talking about? Fiendy. Brilliant.
You might just have to go with just chatting.
Dang.
Yeah, movie night is apparently not a category.
Not anymore.
Well, it should be.
It should be.
Hello,
All right.
Ivy. And that's a good question. Alright.
All right. Well, just so everybody knows, while the totality of silent film is now in the public domain, unfortunately, it quite often is packaged for modern viewers with a soundtrack that is not in the public domain. So the way that we handle it here at Silent Film Fridays is, for the most part, we mute the sound.
Yeah.
That way, it allows us to continue doing what we do without getting a bunch of copyright strikes.
Yeah. It's great.
It's a time, I'll tell you.
Alright, I'm already over here.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we're going to be starting, well, we'll be running tonight.
Oh, we don't have a body count yet. Oops.
We don't have a body count, we don't have an it count, but we will. We'll have a body count at least.
It count doesn't. It count only goes up.
Okay. Well, we're starting tonight with a Paramount logo sequence that was part of the restoration of this film in 2012. So, Alex, go ahead and hit it. And make sure the sound is on.
The sound is off because we can't actually show it in its full totality.
Sure we can.
Why not? Well,
We can show this with sound because,
really?
the proportion of it in relation to the total film is minuscule.
Hmm.
And we're only showing a minute, 12 seconds. So please turn the sound on.
Okay.
Thank you.
You said to have it off.
Oh, for the film, yes, not for this.
Oh! My mistake. We're
Okay.
very
But
perfect here.
are we going to get the sound?
Yeah. You'll have it.
Okay. I meant for this section.
Yes. Y'all have it right now.
Oh,
I suppose
Well, then-
it's not going over Discord.
it is not.
It is not, because Discord is rude and does not recognize VLC as an available app to type sound in through.
That's okay.
Yes. Because Discord is butts, but understandable. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Have a nice butt.
All right. Well, let's... Oh, and by the way, the additional voice that you're hearing is Alex's partner,
Yeah.
Kat.
Oh, hi, yeah. It's me, Kat, from the internet.
Yeah.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
It's Kat Brown. Go check her out.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get this movie started, please.
Yeah. This one is a long one, so let's just hop right into it.
The other thing we need to note is that we are going to be having an intermission at 65 minutes in, so that everybody can have a minute to get up, stretch your legs, do what you're going to do, because this film runs 2 hours, 24 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Alex?
It would be nice if it actually hit play.
That would help.
I have hit play. It is just...
You might need to fast forward it a bit.
Yeah.
Ah, look, there it is.
Look, the thing we just watched.
Yes.
Wow.
The reason I excised it from my copy, Alex, is because you said, yes, I would like to have that piece of video. So I did the thing.
Fair.
Hooray.
It's like I listened and took directions. It's amazing.
And then
All
I forgot. But yes,
It's okay.
I am glad I have that. It's a cool piece of. It's a cool thing to have.
It's a nice piece of film history.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy, is this film all about history. Although the history that this one is depicting, when this is actually being shown in theaters, isn't even a decade out from the end of World War One.
Yeah.
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 So, with that being said, okay, so you might want to note that the screenplay is by a woman by the name of Hope Loring. There was another woman involved as well. I'll have to go track down her name again. But when a lot of the notices about this were put out, the women were excised from that list. Instead, the guy who wrote the script, rather than the people who wrote the story, was the one who got the credit.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Anyway, on June... Oh, okay.
It's okay. On June 12th, 1997, in Washington, Colonel Charles Lindbergh paid tribute to those who fell in the Great War. In that time, he said, feats were performed and deeds were accomplished which were far greater than any other accomplishment of mere aviation.
To those young warriors of the sky,
whose wings are folded about them forever, this film is dedicated.
Small Town, 1917.
And this is just, general small town America.
Yeah.
You can tell it's small town America because he's wearing messed up overalls.
Yeah, he's vibing.
Oh yeah, clearly. This is Charles Buddy Rogers. Now, later in life, he would just simply be known as Buddy Rogers. He did a whole lot of character work. But for this particular moment, he is one of the leads of our film. And he's a little bit, I'd say aviation crazy, but he also seems to just like mechanical things.
It's interesting stuff. I can't blame him.
And this is Clara Bow, our leading lady.
Oh, hey, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we featured one of her other films, It, also from 1927.
That's a fun one.
I love that movie. Well, the thing about this is that Wings was meant to be a starring vehicle for her. Mm-hmm. But as the story progressed and was further developed, her role shifted and she was no longer the focus of the film. Instead, she ends up almost being second tier.
Yeah, a historical piece, from 8 years ago. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see not only what she did with this, but how she portrayed women from World War I, because we don't usually see them depicted. Most of the time, it's very focused on men and men's roles in wartime. Usually, if women are evoked at all,
Mm-hmm.
it's because they stayed home and kept things going.
Right.
What it doesn't pay attention to is the sheer number of women who did serve.
Mm-hmm.
They may not have been frontline soldiers, but quite often as volunteers for the Red Cross, working as secretaries and other support staff during that time. I love that on the vehicle graffiti is totally acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty great.
Yeah, exactly. And she is so far gone on him, and he has zero clue.
Yeah. That'll happen.
If you look very closely, you can read lips just a little bit.
Yeah.
And, well, you can tell that if you weren't reading lips for words, you can certainly read her lips now. She is all excited about trying to get that kiss.
Yeah.
And he's oblivious. Okay, I'll see you later.
Yep. See you later, Mary.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Just say that he is not necessarily the most observant being that there ever was.
Hmm.
If I'm remembering correctly, the actress playing Sylvie here, or Sylvia, and the actor playing David were actually married, at least for a brief period of time.
As tends to happen.
For now and again.
Yeah. Hello, car.
You know, with the way that that is being filmed, it looks very much as if that were up against a green screen. But
It's not.
it isn't.
They legit tied the camera to the swing.
And he legit just dragged her off that swing.
Yeah.
Shoved her in a car. That's kind of a car.
See ya, David.
It's mostly a car.
No worries, Jonathan. It's good to see you.
Goodbye, Mary. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else want to throw rocks at Jack? Is it just me?
One large oof.
Double oof.
Yeah.
That's some prime movetanium.
All right. Well, we've got darkness spreading.
And youth answered the challenge.
Yeah, you throw enough bodies at a war, and well,
Yeah.
yes.
You know, eventually you'll run out of the ripe old ones. You gotta throw the young ones in.
I think you've got that backwards, but sure. Okay. No, Fiendy, you are absolutely right. Just watching Clara Bow in that, you could see her heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
I mean, they had to be really good at conveying emotion.
Oh, of course. But also by the time 1927 rolls around, the really stilted stage, almost theatrical performances that were happening on screen were pretty much a thing of the past.
Yeah.
By this point, film acting was its own situation. Oh, and by the way, when he says Dutchman, what he means is Deutschman, or rather, Germans. Just a friendly reminder to everyone, yes, World War I, we were fighting the Germans. World War II, also fighting the Germans. I think that guy forgot his sleeves.
He's just really proud of his tattoo, and it would be awkward to walk around with just one sleeve, so...
I mean, Hawkeye seems to get away with it.
He also just seems to be very casual about everything, so, you know.
Yeah. Alright, so it says the feverish days of 17, and what we're looking at there is the fact that in April 1917, Congress declared war on Germany.
Uh-huh.
So this is really just trying to recapture that particular moment. Uh-oh.
Hi, Jack. How's it going? Sylvia, I'm
somebody who cannot read the room. Oh, sorry, Alex.
No worries. I mean, yeah, I'd wish them all the luck in the world, too.
Oh, my dude.
He's bad at reading the room.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Please don't misunderstand.
As moves go, that was right at the top of the list. I think the it count should go up by 1, Alex.
Yeah, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it... Oh, wait, no. I can add numbers, I promise.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, just straight up races. Anyway.
Okay. This particular film came into being at the intersection of a whole bunch of things. This is right at the end of the silent era. And this is the only...
Yeah.
Excuse me. This is the only completely silent film to have been awarded a Best Picture Oscar. Kind of. In the first year that the Academy Awards were celebrated, first off, the ceremony took a grand total of 15 minutes. That's it. They had a big dinner. It was apparently chicken on toast. I believe the chicken was boiled, so, doesn't get any whiter than that.
Boiled chicken on toast.
We had boiled chicken on toast.
Extravagant.
Ring beans. and
Mm-hmm.
ice cream.
Ooh, what flavor?
Presumably vanilla.
They did not say, but who knows? Maybe it was like liver. I don't know.
It could have been. Well, I'm on my way, Mary. Goodbye.
Boiled chicken flavored ice cream.
Ah, there we go. New Ben & Jerry's flavor.
What, boiled chicken and string bean? No, thank you.
Even better.
I don't know. Judging by the other,
You gotta have something chunky in the Ben & Jerry's ice cream, right?
That's true.
Yeah, he just left his car in her care.
I mean, if anything, it shows he has a lot of trust in her.
But then he goes back with, don't break it.
I mean, ideal, but dude, read the room.
I wonder if that was just part of the character. As in
different flavors. That's fair.
The most cursed thing. Oh, yes.
I mean, debatably
right.
seen.
So, as I was saying, rather than there being just one Best Picture offered by the Academy that year, there were two recognized. One of them was the Best Unique and Artistic Picture, and the other one was Outstanding Picture.
Mm.
The idea was to separate commercial films, which is what Wings was, from prestige films. In this case, the one that won the Prestige Award was F.W. Murnau's Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, which was released in 1928.
Oh.
Honestly, Jonathan, I didn't know that particular detail until I was prepping for this presentation tonight.
Well, dang.
Oh, he's taking his teddy bear. Look at that.
Oh.
She says that, and now my little boy is a soldier. And all I can think of is the 1916 song, I Didn't Raise My Boy to Be a Soldier. So as I was saying a few minutes ago, this film really does exist at the intersection of several different moments. In addition to being the end of the silent era, this was also the period of time where, I guess, societal amnesia about the horrors of war had set in. So by the time this film was in production, people were able to stomach war movies again. Although there was a good 6-7 year period where that was not the case.
Yeah, I mean, you try living through one of the most horrific wars in human history.
And World War I really was that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, World War I was also the first time when you've got wide-scale chemical warfare happening.
Yeah.
You know, I find it interesting that David's parents are very torn up about him leaving. Jack's parents were kind of like, hey, we're going to shove you in the car and take you. Bye. Although...
Let's get on the road already.
Exactly. Oh, it's kind of almost as if with David here, you know, son of a very wealthy family, David has a lot of expectations riding on his shoulders. Like, for example, He's going to come back. He's going to take over whatever family business there is. With Jack, it just almost like his parents just toss him into the car as if to say, well, if you don't come back, we can always make another one just like you.
Holy cow.
Well,
I mean, they sure didn't look enthusiastic about the whole situation.
okay. Nevertheless. So we've got the end of the silent era. We have cultural amnesia filling in over World War I, which was known as the Great War at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, World War II was still over a decade away.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Yeah. It is what it is.
Although I say that as far as World War II, it really depends on what front you're talking about. Because if you're talking about what was going on in Europe, anti-Jewish activity was already happening in Germany as of 1937.
Yeah.
But the U.S. wouldn't get involved for a little while.
Yeah.
So we've got a German immigrant here, or at least somebody with a German name.
Mm-hmm.
Pork pie hat. So he's definitely being shown as somebody who is likely lower class. Oh, here we go again. Isn't he charming?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like a little bit of brutality when you're enlisting.
I mean...
When you're reporting, excuse me, not enlisting.
At least they're honest.
Yeah. They're very clear about who the enemy is.
And in World War I, there was a whole lot of anti-German sentiment.
Yeah.
I realize that seems like a no-brainer, but what I do also want to point out is that there were internment camps here in the U.S. during World War I.
Does not surprise me.
Uh-huh.
We really did that twice?
We did that a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't like to talk about it.
We still do that? Oh,
yes.
No.
I mean, what else do you think reservations are if not internment camps?
I need to lie down for a bit.
Sorry, didn't mean to break you, Cat.
Yeah. Shit sucks.
To say the very least. This film was produced in, I want to say, San Antonio. And, yeah, unfortunately...
Yeah, sorry, Captain Hammer.
Sorry, Captain Hammer.
Oh, thanks, Fiendy. Yeah. Well, you know, gotta learn from someone.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, weren't most of the founders of the eugenics movement Americans?
That's right. Including Margaret Sanger, who is usually more lauded for her contributions to birth control and women's autonomy. But, oh yeah. Also, eugenics and immigration restriction were also very connected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Congress passed two different laws during the 1920s, one in 1921 and one in 1924, both of which were designed to limit immigration into the U.S.
The Great American Melting Pot, right?
Don't get me started on that short.
Oh, the 50s sure were a time.
The 50s? What are you on about?
Or wait, when was Schoolhouse Rock?
Oh, I'm not talking about Schoolhouse Rock, honey.
No, was that an earlier...
Yes.
Hooray!
One of these days, Alex, you and I are going to sit down and watch the supplemental materials on 1931's King of Jazz DVD.
Oh boy, okay.
Correct.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, good is relative. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You see, Captain Hammer's seen it before.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I feel badly for that guy just crawling his way out of the way.
Yeah, well, you know. He did just, get punched in the head a couple times.
Anyone else think that Jack and David there are really taking it quite seriously?
Yes.
Hey, Seychelle, how's it going?
Yes, the melting pot. Where we all come to melt together.
Yeah, please don't get me started about Henry Ford's take on the melting pot.
Oh,
That's a whole other story.
Ford did not tend to have a lot of good takes.
He sure was a capitalist.
Okay, capitalist aside, this is more anti-Semitic, but that's something we can talk about later. Well, not only flailing like a Muppet fiendy, there's blood.
Yeah.
When this film was finally given a rating by the MPAA, it was given a PG-13. When this film was made, there was no such thing as the rating system. There wasn't even the motion picture production code. At most, what you had was the don'ts and be carefuls from Jason Joy. And it didn't say anything about blood. Oh, look, they beat the crap out of each other, and now they're friends.
Yeah.
That is how that works, right?
If One Piece has taught me anything, yes. Sometimes.
Okay, I still have not gotten on that tip. And here's where we get Mary's involvement. When this film was being produced, Richard Arlen and Charles Rogers were unknown actors.
Oh no.
The star power was all her.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I don't even want to think about Muppet blood. Thanks for that, Kat.
I mean,
I'm sorry, we went from them fighting like Muppets to one of them bleeding.
You say you're sorry. I'm not sure I believe you.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I mean, Angel. That's all I gotta say.
That was a great
That
episode.
was a wonderful episode. Sir, that is gasoline. Hey, Socks.
Okay, because was it made clear that because he flunked out of training, he became a mechanic?
No, that does not make sense.
Surprise!
Fair enough.
It's white. That's also your complexion. Got it. Yeah, that very tall actor there is Gary Cooper, who would become known more for his Western roles and also for playing the lead in the 1941 film Sergeant York, which also focused on a World War I soldier. But this was really his first supporting role. This is the first time he was in a major motion picture.
Okay. Do you smoke?
Only if I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, chocolate gum.
Wait. What?
No, there was a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hershey was in operation at the time, y'all. This is not unusual.
I mean, I imagine chocolate bars were widely available by this time.
I just sort of assumed it was gum.
Well, I wasn't really prepared to talk about candy making history, but I'm sure we could figure it out.
Nah.
You're good. Okay, I love that he's just like, yeah, I don't need luck. I'm totally okay. Exits the tent.
Well, bye forever.
If I don't show up in the morning, or if I don't come back by the evening, make breakfast.
Finish eating that chocolate for me.
There you go.
I am curious, for those of you who are... Yeah, let's let him crash first.
Yeah, let's at least let him go somewhere first. We gotta at least give him that.
Beginning his figure eights before chow.
Yeah.
I am curious, though, about how many students I still have left in here.
I don't know.
I suspect many of them have been scared off.
Perhaps.
One of
the
my
concept
students...
of looking at your teacher as a person.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we do have 13 viewers.
I'm here. Hee hee. Haha. There we go.
Now, Laura from math, which of my classes are you in? 1650 or 2500?
Doesn't matter. She's from math.
But I don't teach math.
You know.
Hey, I know exactly who you are now.
See, she's got numbers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, time to clean it out there.
Good stuff.
Oh. Laura, it's no big deal. You're fine. Well, looks like Cadet White is now taking the big dirt nap. And these two are starting to really feel their mortality.
I'm sorry.
Delicious, delicious mortality.
I'm sorry, Laura. I will stop poking fun at it.
Precisely, Fiendy. He was there for about a hot second.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm afraid God was asleep at the wheel on that one. Just that inscription on that on that photo with, "May God watch over and protect you always." I regret to inform.
Okay, correction. He sure was just watching.
Oh, Alex, that actually makes it worse somehow.
I guess that means we get to eat a delicious
Said
bar.
trombone.
Wait. Those were that was on his socks? No.
Product placement? Wow.
Which is kind of funny because product placement wasn't really a thing. By that point, Hershey was just nationally known as chocolate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he would want us to have it.
Yeah.
That's why he left it on his socks.
Yeah.
I can see that more as a deterrent, though, honestly.
Hey, depends on how shiny of an object it is. Sometimes brain do just go shiny object.
That's true. We are essentially crows, just,
Taller.
missing feathers.
Yes.
That's it. So if you took a crow and you plucked the feathers off.
Yeah, Diogenes called.
It's a human.
What is a man?
He's a miserable pile of secrets.
But enough talk!
All right. What you're watching right now is something that this film not only is known for, but also helped to set the standard for when it came to filming aerial combat. The director, William Wellman, and actor Richard Arlen had been combat pilots during World War I. So for them, that was a known experience. They were already familiar with it.
Yeah.
Buddy Rogers had to learn how.
Recreate it in a safe way. Boom. Safe quotation marks.
Thank you. Because safe is somewhat relative in that regard.
It's safe until it's not.
Oh, it's kind of like squirrels are safe until you put one in your mouth and you light it on fire?
Think it's too soon to bring up Titanic again?
What about the Titanic? Oh, you mean Ocean Gate?
Okay. Unfortunately, we're talking about flight, not underwater tourism. So, bring it on back there, Al.
Yeah, sorry, rabbit holes.
Honey, that wasn't a rabbit hole. That was a freaking ditch. And you jumped right in.
True. That's the one. You want carbon fiber. Yeah. Strong. Oh.
That's haunting. Oh. No, thank you.
Holy cow. Sir.
That is not something I needed to be woken up by. Can you imagine what that would have done to you?
Listen, we're in this man's army. That man does not have a face anymore.
Oh no, that man has a face. It's just terrifyingly lit up in the dark.
Just has a new crater. It's fine.
I'm sorry, I thought you almost said it just has a new grenade. It's fine.
Same effect.
I hope not. Oh. I love how I just grabbed his foot and then dropped it. Wake up, wake up.
Boot camp memories. Mm-hmm. Delightful.
Sorry if you're getting a whole bunch of psychic damage there, Captain Hammer.
Please be okay. Patrol between here and Marvel, and look out for Captain Kellerman and his flying what?
Circus.
Flying circus.
This is not Monty Python's Flying Circus.
You know my head too well.
This is Captain Kellerman's Flying Circus.
Hmm. Now, this is war, so at some point it will be war plus however many we see on screen.
Okay, I don't know if you missed that or not, but where it said, keep your head like an owl's, that's just the World War I equivalent of keep your head on a swivel.
Fair. I mean, I see those soldiers marching in the background.
Yeah.
Off to the trenches, I see.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Why not?
Can't see that. Perhaps coming back from?
Well, this was shot on an airfield near San Antonio, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
where battlefields and eventually a wrecked French village had to be recreated.
Yeah.
This film was shot between September 1926 and April 1927. As it turns out, most films were made in 4 weeks. However,
Holy cow.
William Wellman had standards. So much so that at one point, the production company of Four Wings had to wait 18 straight days for the right clouds in the sky to be able to film it.
I mean, yeah, you want this to be perfect, right?
Also,
look at this.
Oh, let me finish. Wellman
Please do.
wrote, say, you can't shoot a dogfight without clouds. And you'll say this to a guy who doesn't know anything about flying, and he'll think you're nuts. But the reason you don't want to is because you need those clouds for contrast. It's attractive. And it also gives the audience a sense of speed. Partly because that provides a parallel backdrop so that you're able to see things.
The enemy.
If you've just got a blue sky, all you have is something that looks like a bunch of flies. And photographically, it's terrible. Close quote.
Wait, are they actually flying?
Yes!
Oh.
They are honest to God flying.
Well, fair enough.
And that's part of what makes this film so unique, is the fact that because the director had experience as an aviator in World War I, he knew what was required to not only, be able to fly the planes, but also to ensure that for audiences, it was a realistic experience.
Incendiary bullets. Ooh. I mean, these planes are made out of canvas and wood, so...
That's right.
That'll do it.
Writing for silentfilm.org, Thomas Gladys made the observation that Wings was not only the first significant motion picture to deal with the role of the airplane at war, it also had a similar effect to Star Wars. When it was released, it had a broad appeal, and it was incredibly influential on Hollywood filmmaking for decades after. Now, you may have just seen a yellow... Right there.
Oh, we've seen so much yellow at this point.
Okay, what you are looking at is actually a specific technique for coloring on the film itself. It's called the Handschlegel technique, and it's, excuse me, in this instance, they're using a stencil that has been generated so that there is no color bleed. So yes, we've got some selective color, but there's a few other things to note about the way in which this film was going to be seen by audiences. And not just seen by audiences, but heard by audiences as well. As most of y'all know, as folks who are Silent Film Friday attendees, silent film...
Have we seen anybody... Oh.
was only kind of silent.
Totally seen at least like 4 people die. Or 3 people die.
Well, he just...
Make that 4.
Oh, he's real dead.
Oh yeah.
There's no fake about that. He's real dead.
He ate too many tomatoes.
I was going to say, I don't think you're supposed to swallow bullets. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to swallow bullets.
Oh.
Generally frowned
Excuse
upon.
me. The tomato soup just started disagreeing with him. That's what happened. A terrible fate. At Mach 5.
Now, I will say that there are some stunt pilots here, but the leads are actually flying their own planes. This was not done with miniatures or models. These are planes.
Yeah.
Including the ones that are on fire?
Let me pull up my notes,
45
and I will tell you
minutes.
precisely what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. So Wellman, the director, became an ace pilot at the age of 19.
Hmm. Oh no, David's machine gun jammed.
That's a problem.
He's right there. But there was chivalry among these knights of the air.
Okay, it might be the other one I was looking. Okay. 2 Fokkers on his tail.
Yep.
Well, I can safely say that is a problem. All right.
Yeah.
Writing in 1974 in his autobiography, A Short Time for Insanity, William Wellman recounted, We'd been rehearsing with 3,500 Army personnel and 65 odd pilots for 10 days.
I mean, yeah. A lot of this does not.
Let's see. No.
Especially
What would happen? Well, they didn't just have these folks flying, they also had camera planes at different altitudes to photograph the air view of the maze of confusion of a battle.
Yeah.
Before 1926, there had been some aerial warfare work in films. However, the flying footage was gathered from independent sources, government-financed films, and with the use of miniatures. Actors were not seen in actual flight. Up to that time, many aerial scenes had been shot in stationary planes on the ground. But instead, they had the film stars pilot their own planes while controlling mounted motor-driven cameras that faced them. They were literally filming themselves flying these planes that, as you've mentioned, are made of canvas and wood.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. Wow, he just about ate that camera.
Yeah.
Well, the original outlay for this particular film was about $2 million. And that's in mid-1920s money.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Even these days.
And unfortunately, let's just say that Wellman's shooting delays led to increased costs. So much so that when the Academy Awards were announced, and by the way, the winners of the Academy Awards were announced 3 months before the ceremony. So everybody knew. I love her boots. Those are great.
So.
Anyway, so like I said, the director was not even invited to the Academy Awards ceremony because the studio was so upset with him. Playing possum.
Indeed. Seems so.
Well, there's only one thing to do in that instance. Back up and try it again.
Damn.
Well, clearly, she didn't hit him right the first time. He got up.
Hmm.
I love how she's just in this crater.
Yeah, it's fine. There totally aren't mines lining the road.
Oh God, no. Nope. I believe Merveille is a French town, and that is the town that was recreated that is just about to be utterly mushed. Where are we in the runtime, Alex?
Hey Kat, how's that timer looking?
We're about 13 minutes from our intermission.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. You gotta admit,
smart.
that overhead shot is really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as it turns out, this film came out and was very well received, not only by critics, but also by audiences. This film was released on what was known as a roadshow release. And I've heard the phrase roadshow before, but it seemed like a good idea to ensure that I really understood what it was. And as it turns out, I thought a roadshow was something that happened after a primary release or a first run.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it was actually more of a preview tour. A roadshow version of a film release is a release to a limited number of theaters in major cities for a specific period of time before the wider release.
Interesting.
Now, the thing about these roadshow performances, or I guess screenings, is that they often had additional features. For example, there could be different orchestration. These roadshow performances often had an overture, an intermission, like we're about to have, and just so on and so forth. In other words, it was to everybody's advantage to make this as special as possible and to round up as much positive feeling as they could possibly do.
I mean, yeah,
So,
you gotta advertise it.
Oh, and believe me, that's precisely what happened here. I've tracked down...
It's like
Go ahead.
pre-ordering games these days. Or, well, pre-ordering anything, I guess.
Well, as it turns out, I found 2 reviews. One from Variety, and one from the New York Times. And I just want to read the one from Variety because, dear Lord, this is written by Sid Silverman.
All right,
this is from Variety, 1927. And he writes, quote, "When the action settles on terra firma, there is nothing present that other war supers haven't had, some to a greater degree. But nothing has possessed the graphic descriptive powers of aerial flying and combat that have been poured into this effort. Some of the Magnascope battle scenes..."
It's a bomber. That's why it's so big.
Oh, that makes sense. "Some of the Magnascope battle scenes in the air are in color. Not natural, but with sky and clouds deftly tinted, plus spouts of flame shooting from planes that dive, spiral, and even zoom as they supposedly plunge to Earth in a final collapse. Richard Arlen," and I'm still reading from Sid Silverman here, "Richard Arlen goes through the picture minus makeup. At least the camera registers him that way. Consequently, he looks the high-bred, high-strung youngster who would dote on aviation, and backs it up with a splendid performance that never hints of the actor. I can't tell if Sid was just pissed at Richard Arlen or what. But holy cow." He goes on to say, "Charles Rogers' effort is also first-rate. The important point being here that the 2 boys team well together. There not being so much of Clara Bow in the picture, she gives an all-around corking performance. Al Brendel's comedy is spasmodic and mostly early in the first half, while Gary Cooper is on and off within half a reel. The most planes counted in the air at once are 18.
Miss Bow?
Oh, she's about to have a rough day.
She's gonna have a time.
So, the most you're going to have is 18, like I said, 18 planes in the air all at once. But there are the pursuit and bombing machines, captive balloons, smashes and crashes of all types. There we go. With some of the shots of these crack-ups remarkable. Now, he does point out that fake stuff and double photography, too, are used, but there are no miniatures in regard to the air action. So there you have it. 1927.
Oh, jeez.
She just survived a bombing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Poor thing. You know, one of the articles that I read while prepping for tonight indicated that the history of human flight like this and the history of cinema at least ran parallel for a time, and in 1903 they intersected.
Yeah.
As a result, it seems like this would just be a natural match, trying to match up aerial combat with what we're seeing here.
Wait, what's the 1903 fusion you're referring to?
1903 is the year that The Great Train Robbery was released, which is considered a benchmark in cinema history.
Gotcha.
1903 is also the year when the Wright brothers launched their plane at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
Dang, you're right.
Every now and again.
I mean, you only teach this for a living.
True, but I also happen to love both film and history.
Exactly. I have lost count. It is war plus 8.
That works. Miss Boo.
Many.
Boudica came in for a visit, by the way. It might be fiendy. I need to look to see if it in fact is.
There.
Oh, Alex. That is such a body count.
Yeah. I mean...
You're not wrong. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So in addition to this film being released in the Roadshow version, it was also shown on an extra large screen.
Mm-hmm.
And just as importantly, and particularly for audiences of our era,
Mm-hmm.
it was performed regularly with sound effects provided by disc recordings, live Foley artists, or later a synchronized score that included effects in addition to the musical soundtrack. When this film was restored in 2012, there were a couple of different soundtracks developed for it. And 2 of them are musical, but one of them is a sound effects track that was developed by Ben Burt, who is responsible for a pretty high percentage of most of the sound effects from Star Wars and the Star Wars films.
Fair.
Burt works for Skywalker Sound.
Dang.
And from what I am understanding, when he
Brutal.
redid the music, well, not the music, excuse me, when he recreated the effects, okay, according to Burt, because they were using 1930s aviation sounds from Paramount, it is not unreasonable to presume that some of the recordings included in their 2012 restoration may have also originally been used in the Wings sync sound version.
The Reward of Valor.
When this film was shown with sound, like it mentions here, at first, it was done with discs, records. Apparently, there was a sound effects system developed by Roy J. Pomeroy in 1926 that employed 6 revolving discs and an automatic mechanism for raising and lowering the tone arm at the beginning and end of each record. Roy Pomeroy had successfully recorded sound segments for Wings, including gunfire and other effects.
Holy cow.
So, yeah.
1 minute, 35 seconds.
Okay. Each of a dozen roadshow units of the film carried turntables and a prop man to watch the picture from the wings of the theater and turn on the discs at appropriate times. So that's one iteration of sound.
Mm-hmm.
2 years later, the sound for Wings was re-recorded on an optical track, which is how we usually hear film sound now.
An optical track. So that's the... Oh, that's
It's the soundtrack.
That's the soundtrack that runs alongside the film.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, before they actually got that down as far as the optical tracks, they used, at least for this particular film, they used a system called the RCA Palo Photo Phone. So that what they could do is they could put the optical track on a separate film strip, which would then be read by a second interlocked and hopefully
Oh, hey, intermission.
and hopefully synced up thing. All right. We are going to take 5.
Yep.
Let everybody have an opportunity to just get up and stretch your legs. I'd say go ahead and leave the... you didn't leave the intermission up.
Yeah, we're going to throw... Yeah, because it's on YouTube. And
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to set a timer, and we will be back here in 5.
5 minutes? All right.
5 minutes. All right.
Sounds good.
And for those of you who are here from class or just maybe wandered in to see what was going on, welcome. It's good to have you here.
Ah, there we go. I'm back. Who do I have? Also, hey Sage Hill. We're on an intermission, folks. We'll be back in 5. I think I'll only take part of the mission. Okay. Fair enough.
I can't actually find my headset.
I'm gonna find the end of the intermission real quick.
All right, Alex, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right.
I'm finding the end of the intermission real quick.
Okay.
Brubeck time.
As in,
I see.
take 5?
Fair enough. Alright. Well, you're back. Let's go ahead and hit it.
Do it. I have a monster that I am just thoroughly enjoying.
Excellent. I have a kitty who has decided to join me. Paris. Right. It's break time. It's break time, everybody.
Oh, Jack. Yeah, I'm with the Parisians. I'm just like, wait, what? What is going on?
Well, haven't you heard there's a war about?
Fiendy, I am totally with you on that point. It is not good.
That fleet was so nice.
I'm glad that Herbie came over to see you.
Yeah, me too. He knows I'll take care of that if I see him. He has learned. He likes
Good
the
boy.
honeycomb. He also
Yeah.
is okay with bats. It's very nice.
That's so weird. All right, so they just canceled everybody's leave, which means if you are in Paris, you gotta go back.
Hmm.
Soldiers of all races? Sure? And there's vandalism.
Of course. You know, those rambunctious teenagers.
That is actually part of the problem. Quite often, those who were drafted into World War I and World War II and every other major conflict.
Yeah.
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 You get the idea.
Yeah. Sure is a fun time.
That we've hit the midpoint of the film. Oh, and by the way, Jack's name is actually John. It's a fairly common abbreviation.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
At some point, that diverged.
Had a peach of a fight. Oh boy. Headed on out to the Folie Bergère. This particular scene is famous, and you're about to see why.
Drink some water.
Yes, sir.
And it has nothing to do with that woman's ankle.
Mm.
Or the cleavage.
I mean, hey, we love hydration here.
We do. I'm taking a drink. Here it is. this tracking shot just through all of these couples at these tables is known all over and frequently imitated. And I know how they filmed it. But before I get into that information, our good boy Jack here actually is drunk.
Probably for the first time in his baby life.
No. The actor was drunk.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you want the real deal.
This is less acting and much more just absolutely sloshed on champagne.
What do they call it when an actor gets really into the role?
Method acting.
There it is. It's just method acting.
Boy, was it. No, as far as that...
Best kind of method acting.
As far as that absolutely beautiful tracking shot, what they had to do is they had to suspend a cameraman above those tables and then just basically run him along a track so that he was able to get that shot of all of those different tables.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's very cool. Oh, there's David. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I think she's judging just a little bit, and I don't blame her.
Fair.
This film came out before it. But even so, Clara Bow was a very well-known actress. And apparently she can shoot daggers with her eyes. Man.
Oh, she sure can.
I like how she's just like, watch it with the hand. Fiendy, you are so right. Go away, uniform, he says.
He sure did say that.
Mm-hmm. I like how she's using small words here that maybe he'll understand. No war, just bubbles. What sound effect they used for the bubbles when they were showing this in theaters?
Good question.
I mean, I realize I'm really asking the important questions here.
He's way past the tingle phase of drunkenness.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's to the point of just basically slobbering all over himself.
He is on the borderline of just puking his guts out.
Passing out first and then puking his guts out. Probably in his sleep.
Potentially.
Oh. It's like there's about to be a little bit of lady wisdom dropped on Mary over here.
What's up? Yeah. You've been jumping up all day. What's up? Hi. I think he was making sure that Cat was in bed.
Oh boy. And this is where women helping women, so very welcome.
Mm.
You can absolutely see why Clara Bow was a star.
Mm.
I mean, she was a star, but she also had quite the reputation. And she wasn't the only woman in Hollywood who had a reputation for wanting to be able to just live her life and be young. She really did embrace it. Her, Gloria Swanson, Colleen Moore, all of them. And so this dress that she's wearing now, probably a lot closer to her normal attire than that uniform.
Most assuredly.
Bubbles are animated, just in case you were wondering.
Okay.
I am fairly certain that you can't train Bubbles to do that on command.
It'd be nice.
Nice, yes. Practical? I don't know. Maybe if they were like nitroglycerin bubbles.
I mean, you never know.
Oh, she's about to murder that other woman with her eyes. I'll go wherever the best bubbles are.
Who has the best bubbles?
I guess she has the best bubbles.
Well, there's your answer.
Honey. Don't worry, French lady, you'll find somebody else.
Mm.
Oh.
Sure seems that way.
A little teeny tiny bit like nobody should be walking around that room without shoes.
It's fine.
Oh, oh, Mary. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be doing that to a bedpost.
Yeah, he's on some hallucinogenics or something.
No, it's just alcohol. Apparently champagne can completely screw you up.
Apparently. Some wild side effects.
Oh, they look intimidating.
All leaves ordered. Cancelled. Ordered.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, I guess Pink Elephants does come from around the same time period.
Elephants, as in pink elephants on parade,
Yeah,
1941.
fair enough.
Sweetie, you might want to check to see whose picture is in there. Because, honey, oh,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Well, you know.
Nothing like seeing a heartbreak in real time.
Yeah.
Hmm. I love how she wants to leave him to his fate, and yet she's not going to.
Yeah.
I can tell you haven't shaved for a minute. No, Fiendy, he does not deserve her.
Yeah. He super doesn't.
Okay, thank you. Modesty screen.
Modesty for who?
For her. It means that she's at least got a barrier between him and her. Unfortunately, those guys don't seem to understand how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, they're putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5.
Yeah. Yes, she is also out of uniform.
You creep. I didn't do anything.
is egg count up 1 per total.
Film has a curious connection to the strikes that are going on in Hollywood right now.
I'm sorry, what?
I said this film has a curious connection to the strikes that are going on in Hollywood right now.
Oh, please elaborate.
I'd love to. So, when the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences was organized by Louis B. Mayer in, I want to say
Of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer.
That's right. 1926 or 1927. I'm still trying to track down a precise date. But the thing about that is that it was designed to position film as a difference between trade and art. And the reason that it was a big deal is because it essentially gives studios a new and exciting way to maintain control over their employees.
Okay.
The way that it worked, at least as far as that was all concerned, was... Sorry, I'm trying to get to my notes here. So the Academy Awards itself was founded in 1929 to give out trophies and to further market winning films. And by the way, this is coming from Monica Sandler out of the University of California, Los Angeles, writing PR and Politics at Hollywood's Biggest Night, the Academy Awards, and Unionization.
Yeah, we can't have the workers getting ideas about working together to barter for fairer wages or anything like that.
The problem was that there already was an actors' union. It was called Equity, and it was formed for theatrical workers. But it ended up making its way to Hollywood as well. And that, of course, made people like Louis B. Mayer and the other studio heads start to panic.
Of course.
As of 1923, precisely, and as of 1923, 5 of the largest film producers with Paramount here, it was actually Paramount, Famous, and Lasky. So it's a trio. Eventually, it just comes down to the Paramount name. But the whole thing was that they decided that maybe Edison had a good idea after all when it came to monopolies.
You know, sure is a neat concept. Sure would be a shame if people were to take advantage of that somehow.
Well, as it turns out, the large studios did. And they did it through a practice known as vertical integration.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not as familiar with the term, it simply means that a studio controls all aspects of production, distribution, and exhibition of a film. Well, the one thing they didn't want was the actors or any other member of a production team getting any ideas.
Does not surprise me.
So as a result,
Mm-hmm.
there was big concern about equity coming to California and possibly unionizing the actors. The whole point of a union is that you have the ability to collectively bargain as opposed to trying to negotiate one-on-one. I mean, realistically speaking, I am part of a union at the university. Dad is part of a union affiliated with the museum.
Yeah.
It's just, unions can do a lot of good.
Yes. Sure is a shame we don't have, like, a food workers union or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, about that, so I'm trying to track down everything here.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mayor and his pals decided they needed an organization to handle labor problems at the studio without having to get into the union thing, and it would be a public relations operation that pumped out the message that Hollywood was a wonderful place where delightful and thrilling stories were made to give folks a good time.
Huh? What new rules?
Oh, NRLB. It's the National Labor Relations Board. I think the letters are in the wrong order. Oh, there it is.
NLRB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a little tired here.
You're good. Oh, he left his teddy bear.
That means he's not lucky anymore.
Yep.
Anyway, the idea of naming it the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences
Mm-hmm.
was something that helped to, I don't know if legitimize is the right word, but it certainly did give a little bit more of an oomph to the idea of let's connect art and science with all of this. Oh, now the other thing about the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences
Mm-hmm.
is that it was membership by invitation only. So they could very easily restrict who was there, and it was mostly the studio heads and their friends.
Of course. I mean, who else are you going to invite?
I don't know. Actors Equity Association began in 1919 as a theatrical unit. Oh, that guy is
Oh,
having a
hello,
day.
Blimp.
Yeah. Oh. That's what's referred to as a survey balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that instance, they've got a guy up in the basket who is
About to be shot down.
probably, but he's radioing instructions about what he sees.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's dead.
very. that do to soldiers? You notice he just put out his last cigarette?
Yeah.
Actors Equity attempted to organize actors in 1921. And by 1929, there was a strike against the studios to demand the formation of a union shop. And by the way, this is a report coming from Teen Vogue, which, surprisingly enough, has had some amazing reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the studios didn't want to allow for the development of union shops. So what they tried to do instead was they activated the academy to put actors on a baseline contract with a grievance process rather than being able to sue.
Yeah, because then it puts the onus of responsibility on the individual.
The actor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just shifting responsibility.
Again, from the Teen Vogue article that I'm looking at, a similar scenario played out for screenwriters who demanded satisfactory compensation, on-screen credits, and a standard contract. And again, the Academy successfully negotiated some of those demands, but didn't want to actually give a contract to freelance screenwriters.
Mm-hmm.
By 1933, the Depression had pretty much lit Hollywood on fire. If you don't have money to eat, you're not going to be getting movie tickets. And by 1933, studios demanded a 50% pay reduction for everybody, except executives and unionized crew members. Yeah.
Of course. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Curse word twisting, huh? Oh boy.
Once it became clear that the studios were not keeping their employees best and in mind, the Screenwriters Guild, which was the precursor to the Writers Guild of America, officially organized as a labor union on April 6, 1933. And that is from the WFGFoundation.org website.
Solid.
So, 1933, we get the Screenwriters Guild. Not long after, we also get the Screen Actors Guild, or SAG. Both of those...
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Helium, perhaps. No.
Could be. I'd say, oh, the humanity, but, you know.
I mean, they already jumped out in parachutes. They're fine. 2 more
Must
parachutes.
be the other two. Wow.
Probably hydrogen. Yeah.
Apparently, one of the stunt actors in this film, actually broke his neck in the process of this.
Yeah, does not surprise me. I mean, with the number of stunts we've seen and the number of ways people could possibly been injured.
Oh, that's gorgeous, though. Look at that shot.
Absolutely.
Right up there. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there's no way the tagline, nobody was harmed in the making of this film can be slapped on this one.
Oh no, there was somebody died.
Yeah.
In addition to the broken neck, which,
yeah.
By the way, the stunt actor who experienced that did heal up and continued to work as a stunt actor.
Does not surprise me.
He died of old age.
Good. Good for him.
Oh, David. Oh, wow.
Legit bad time.
Oof. So I just find it really interesting that even though it's been almost 100 years, that Hollywood is still that allergic to unions. I mean, it could be argued now that Hollywood is a union town, but I'm telling you what, the studios sure wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you in America? Wait, are those a bunch of Germans?
Yes.
Oh, they are, aren't they? Why are you all shooting in the water? Why not just... There you go, buddy.
Because, we want to try and shoot him.
Ridiculous.
Here... problem is that as soon as the bullets enter the water,
they lose velocity.
A lot of things happen.
Yes.
They can curve out of the way. Like, they're never going to go in a straight line.
Oh, no. But the thing is, Mythbusters has taught us that.
Yeah.
The Germans didn't have that benefit.
True. Today, on MacGyver, we learn how to
dress up as a tree in the mode of Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah. Sure. We'll go with that.
I really wish that we could show more Chaplin on this stream.
Yeah.
Because there is a film called Shoulder Arms that is hands down one of my favorites. I'm not usually a fan of war pictures, but as comedies go, this one's pretty good. Maybe we could go ahead and screen it and just not put it on YouTube, because that seems to be where we run into trouble.
Yeah.
Because the Chaplin folks are super litigious. Even though...
I mean, that's a case of we just...
public domain.
Local recording and Patreon.
Patreon. Yep.
And again, free to go watch there.
Yeah, for those of you who are new to the stream, if there is something that Alex has posted to the YouTube channel, which, by the way, is youtube.com/ATK42games.
Nope.
No? Did I get it wrong?
You got it wrong.
Oh no! You better tell me what's correct then.
I realistically just need to change the domain. I just need to change it.
To what?
To the proper one.
Well, as I was saying, when Alex posts things to YouTube... Oh, it's Kellerman. Oof, go away. Anyway, sometimes we'll have companies that will file false copyright claims over films that are in the public domain. The company that controls the assets of the Chaplin estate is absolutely one of them.
Oh, yeah. They're crazy about it.
See, we had that one. We had Lottie Reiniger.
Yeah.
And was it Nosferatu or Cabinet of Dr. Caligari?
I think Nosferatu.
Excuse me. Well, that's why Patreon is a gift.
Mm-hmm. Because they kind of have to go out of their way to find me there. Wahahaha.
And I love you, Alex, but I don't think we're important enough to do so.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, what was that?
I just had a network hiccup.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Did I robot?
Hardcore.
Oof.
No worries. Fish.
Indeed.
Alright.
Square things up for Dave, or I won't come back.
Hey. That's a mighty big promise. Ooh.
Like eager birds of prey. Interesting.
You know.
We really are heading toward the climax of the film. It is amazing to me that in just 15 years, planes went from Kitty Hawk to that.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised to learn that with the 1903 Wright Brothers flights, they did not want anybody filming it because they didn't want anybody to beat them to the punch as far as being able to take their invention, the aeroplane, to the military.
Makes sense. I mean, why in the world would you want this kind of technology to be used against human people?
Well, it had nothing to do with that.
Yeah?
A military contract meant money. But it should also be noted that the Edison's, the Wright brothers were not the only ones developing airplanes at this time. They're just the ones that we hear most commonly about because they happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's fair.
They started with
Lovely tanks,
filming.
by the way.
They started with filming as of 1908, I believe. But, yeah.
Oh.
Jack never has seemed like the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yeah, that's a bad call. A morbid fascination, half hope, half dread, draws him toward the Mad River.
Actually called the Mad River?
That's what it said.
Okay, I can't tell if they're actually running or if somehow the film was being shown faster than it should have been.
I mean, it's possible they sped up the film there.
Well, if you've got a bunch of people who need to be running and they're not,
Yeah,
that'd do it.
On foot, the doughboys continue their irresistible advance.
Advance. Y'all, there's a tank behind you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a friendly tank.
You say that, and I almost half expect the tank to go up to the soldiers there. You know, the barrel of its gun just wagging like a dog's tail. It's very friendly.
Yeah.
Good night, Captain Hammer. Thanks for joining us for as much of it as you did.
This is a long film.
It is. We're down to the last 30 minutes or so. That their inclusion of trench warfare depiction, very appropriate.
Indeed.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta watch
Yeah,
out for
you do.
that.
Yeah, you do, Sage Hill. Oh. Whoa.
Yeah. You
Oh,
also gotta
wow.
watch out for that.
The tank? Yes, I would think so. Dear God. Tank went crunch.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason I gave up on watching the body count on this one.
It's understandable. Oh, look, they figured out the zipper merge. Sure wish more drivers could. You know,
Did I tell you
Fiendy,
I did not.
you got what?
I got my driver's permit today.
Your license?
Permit.
Oh, your learner's permit.
Yes.
Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you.
You'll be a driver before you know it.
Yeah.
You know, Fiendy, there is a reason that this film is rated PG-13 by modern standards.
Thank you, Sage Hill. Hey, that's a rogue plane.
I like how he's practically on the road. He just buzzed them so hard that they all just ducked and then died.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
that sounds like good stuff? Question mark? I don't know.
Alex, there is an auditory representation of what it sounded like when World War I ended.
Yeah.
It's haunting.
So was somebody recording?
Well, it only, yes, as a matter of fact, but it was the kind of recording that was done almost like a seismograph.
Mm-hmm.
It was used to determine the distance of artillery shells.
Oh. Understand.
And, Jonathan, they absolutely were mesmerized. This movie was in theaters in New York for 63 weeks. That's over a year. So yes, I think mesmerized is the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
All right, so this seismographic record that was just a visual representation, a sound wave, was digitized by the Imperial War Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And it was transformed into sound. And you can hear when the firing stopped.
Just
on the
yeah.
11th day, at the 11th hour, in the 11th month of 1918, it stopped.
Haunting.
I frequently play it for students so that they can hear what it sounds like when a war ends.
Yeah. Understandable.
When I was studying World War I era sheet music, that was one of the aspects that absolutely was just mind-blowing. That this record not only existed, but had been in the Imperial War Museum in London for decades. Okay, what you just saw with him circling his hand, it was his way of processing what he was seeing as far as, oh my God, yes, that is a plane I can take.
Yeah.
It should also be noted that his left shoulder has been shot, so that arm is no good.
Yeah, that arm has seen better days.
Mm-hmm. I really do love that the muzzle flash seems to be a fairly consistent effect all the way across.
Yeah.
All right, so at this point, David's feeling pretty good about his life and his choices.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man, I just remembered how this ends.
Mm-hmm. Is it my imagination, or did that title card look like those soldiers were on fire?
If they were, yikes.
Yeah. What's that? Victory through air power?
Something along those lines. Totally. Yeah. I mean, we are land-based creatures.
Yes, we are. I mean, only the best of us are semi-aquatic.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things about World War I that always just takes my breath away. Just how utterly brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, No questions here.
That emblem is the Iron Cross of Germany.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Jack, unable to read the room.
Once more. Uh-oh.
Yep.
I know Wellman wasn't trying to make an anti-war film with this, but if this is not an argument for an argument against the massive loss of human life, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Oh, David. Uh-oh.
He's not even trying to get behind you, dude.
No. He needs to just land.
Read the room.
Oh, he's dead now.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I believe I have seen that. The film where they've gone in and taken a bunch of wartime footage and from World War One and colorized it, right?
Yeah, I think I saw something about them working on that. You were checking it out.
That was incredible.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Yes, everyone, the film is coming in for a landing. Well, the film came in for a landing. I'm afraid David did not.
I mean, he did come in for a landing. It was not a survivable landing.
What's the saying? Any landing you can walk away from? I think that might have been missed on this one just a bit.
Yeah. Just a tad.
Boy, that's the universal sign of it's all over.
Yeah. Oh boy. Hello, Herbie. How's it going? Yeah, we, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh my god, what a... Yeah.
From Wellman's perspective, this film was absolutely a man's film, looking at male closeness and bonding. C'est la guerre.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the war.
Sure is. We've seen it all throughout the film.
C'est la guerre, yeah.
I know we gotta say stuff, but, like...
I know, I just want to let this
there's
scene do its thing.
There's not much to say.
No. And even though we don't have sound.
Yeah. Dave, you know I didn't mean what I said about the picture, don't you? You know there's nothing in the world that means so much to me as your friendship.
Dang it, I'm starting to tear up, man.
I knew it. All the time. All set.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Among film historians, there is often a lot of attention paid to the kiss that just happened between these two.
Yeah.
And writing in The Silent Closet in 1999, or writing The Silent Closet in 1999, Anthony Slide pointed out that in this case, the kiss is what's referred to as homosocial,
Yeah.
rather than homosexual. That it was about male bonding rather than romantic intention.
Yeah.
And at the time this film was made, that was not unusual.
Acceptable practices.
It was. But as there's been more and more anxiety...
Especially in France these days. That is...
Oh yeah, debates are still a thing.
Yeah.
But as there's been more and more anxiety regarding masculinity and a perceived crisis of masculinity, that anxiety about that has existed since the late 1800s minimum.
Mm.
And unfortunately, what that's led to is an entire... I don't just want to say generation. I mean, it's a couple of generations
Drink some water.
of folks who are
Thank you.
of folks who are unable to form those close bonds and relationships
Hmm.
with, men forming those relationships with other men.
Yeah. I mean, we here at ATK 42 Games absolutely stand behind gender as a spectrum.
Absolutely and utterly.
Yes.
One of the aspects of this film that I have long appreciated is, while yes, there is celebration, there is also sorrow in the return.
Yeah. Macabre is a good word for it, I think.
Maybe?
It. It's definitely an interesting parallel.
And frankly, that is something that is, it's just an aspect of combat films.
Mm-hmm. Like, people died.
Yeah,
Wait, does that man have hearing aids?
he
No.
might.
Fair.
David's parents are watching that parade go by.
Yeah.
And there's Sylvia. What they're showing is really something that would have still been within living memory for these folks.
Yeah. I mean, there's no joy in war.
No, there isn't. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but Jack came back gray.
Yeah, he's definitely developed some gray hairs.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone who can't be any more than 28,
Oh, I don't even think he was that.
yeah.
Oh, God. I wonder if David's
Oh,
parents know that he was the reason that David died.
I don't know, but if not, I'm sure they're about to find out. Yeah.
Oh boy. Even without sound, even without dialogue, her pain is palpable.
Yeah, my heart is breaking.
Mine too.
I mean, these films are powerful.
Oh, apparently they do know what happened.
Dang.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes, please, let's shake hands over the fence.
He really is into shaking things.
That's true. He's just kind of standing there.
Yeah. I mean, he was shaking the bedpost, he was shaking a lady, he was shaking the bottle. Just shaking everything.
You might want to, not.
Yeah. Many hands.
One night in Paris.
Mm-hmm. There was a girl, and I forgot myself. I don't know who she was. I never want to know. And then... it's just what he's comfortable with. Yeah. I'm not trying to kink shame or anything. Just making an observation.
Okay, maybe we can just stick with C'est la guerre.
Absolutely.
I find it interesting that she doesn't tell him that it was her.
Nice. Shooting star.
Yeah. Wish on it? Well, the last time that came up, he ran off to go hang out with somebody else.
Well, that answers that question.
Indeed, it does.
The end. Thank you, Paramount.
All right. So for next week, I'm thinking it might be time to go to college with Buster Keaton.
Yeah, I heard something about Buster Keaton. I think that sounds
Yeah,
rather fun.
Well, I have to say, for everybody who stuck it out until the end, thank you.
Indeed, thank you.
Your company has been absolutely fantastic. And I look forward to sharing another film with you next week for Silent Film Fridays.
Absolutely. I stopped recording a little bit early. That's my bad.
Uh-oh.
I started recording again. But either way, I hope you all have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.